Hello and welcome to the Dinosaw for week 6. Another 7 curious, interesting, cool, hopefully things you haven't seen last week. So let me catch you up. First one is a monocycle. This is not new. They've been around for about 150 years, but this is from the University of Illinois, and this is the coolest one you will have seen, guaranteed. So it can get itself back up using its two little robot legs. It can swivel itself round. It can then zoom off and do all that good stuff. It can also jump over obstacles and remain upright. Exactly why? Probably just because, and it is cool, but it'd be really nice to see these in those hire bikes, the electric hire bikes you see just laying over on the pavement. Be nice if they can then get themselves up and take them to the bike park on their own, because that would be neat. Well done, University of Illinois, well done to you. This is news from the Flipper Zero and also from Canada. Apparently there is a car crime epidemic and the government are coming after the devices that are basically behind that car crime epidemic, and apparently the Flipper Zero is it. So they have announced they are trying to ban it, sale, importation and the use of the Flipper Zero in Canada. The reason I mention this is it's probably going to then spread to the rest of the world. Now the problem with this is that, as I think the phrase goes, don't let the facts get in the way of a good story. A lot of the things they're saying they're trying to stop, the Flipper Zero doesn't actually do. So yeah, it can do some quite cool and interesting things if you know what you're doing, but it cannot, for instance, do a relay attack or a rolling code attack or a can injection in attack on a car. However, if you're also trying to get through customs with one of these things, the Flipper Zero, then you might start to get maybe siphoned off to one side and patted down as an international criminal. So lots of chats on Reddit about that. So if you've got one of these, it's hot property right now. Meshtastic is a cool thing. It's been out for a couple of years. It is essentially a platform and also a community. And it's all about an open source mesh network to communicate in the open space. So these little devices, not this is a phone obviously, but these little devices, low cost, low energy, but they transmit, and what they then do is they ping on whatever signal that they hear to the next node as well. So they can create a mesh network to get messages across the network. So you don't necessarily have to have a high powered transmitter. The range record so far is 256 kilometers. And obviously the more of these that are around, then the longer that will get. You can also tether your phone to it and you can send messages to it to then ping off. And then you can cipher it on a private node so that your family, for instance, can then use the mesh network maybe to communicate to you and vice versa. So that's pretty neat. There's a really good video by Ringbot Manchester that really got me into it. So these are cool, interested in that, and I am a fan. This is Jason Rath, really interesting video going into an Apple store and trying on the Vision Pro headset. He's registered blind, but like a lot of blind people who are registered blind, they can still have some vision or some sort of sense of light and dark or whatever. And for Jason, I can't see things far away. If it's really, really close, has got a better chance. So when you put the Vision Pro, what it's doing is it's taking essentially video of things far away and it's putting it into little screens very close to your eyes, which he can see. So that's really interesting. So he can see much better with these things on than he can without them. So they're becoming maybe an accessibility device anyway, but there's also some accessibility features in there which he was very thankful of. So for instance, when you use your eyes to track, you can turn that off because one of his eyes actually moves from side to side and therefore can't be used for eye tracking. So now it can use your head. So Apple have really thought about those accessibility things. Now, if this is you, if you're in this world of maybe low vision, then definitely give Vision Pro or other headsets a try. See if it does anything for you. I'd be really interested to know how that one works out. Google have done a bunch of updates to their AI infrastructure, and they have basically put everything in a big bucket called Gemini now. So if you used to use or know about Bard and it was in the search engine and things like that, it's now just all under Gemini. They've also released Image FX, which is their, I guess, competitor to Midjourney or maybe to DALL-E. Now, I've tried it. It's not available in the UK, but let's just say I've got a friend who recorded this for me using maybe a VPN or something like that. However, this is me trying to generate images. So generate an image of the future of social media in 5 years, make it photorealistic. And if you look at the bottom of the screen right now, it's going to give me my result, which is, I can't give you that, it goes against my policy. So you go, okay, just give me a picture of what the future might look like in 5 years. So it's going to look about the same as now, right? So this is actually what it's going to give you as a realistic vision of 5 years time. Clearly that's nonsense. So I just said, okay, well, what was 5 years ago going to look like? Give me a vision of that. And it's going to show you what the probably 5 years ago is going to look like, which is clearly bonkers as well. So it's not without its issues, should we say. So there's a couple of things. I only used, sorry, a friend of mine only used this for a couple of minutes and walked away thinking that's not very good. So there's work to be done, should we say. Coming to probably a Google app near you. It's free at the moment if you do have access to it. So that's its major plus point. Also Google, because this is YouTube, is a new way of searching through your videos or discovering new videos. They've been muting this for a while. Some people have seen it on beta, but now it's rolling out to normal people like me and you. So this is with colors, red, green and blue specifically. It just looks at the thumbnails, and then if they're majority green, red or blue, then it shows you those instead. So it's just another way of possibly breaking you out of your echo chamber of search results. There's also a new to me, which will show you the opposite of things that you've not actually seen. So interesting. Again, it still sort of shows you things you're interested in, but it then starts to give you red, green and blue themes to them as well. The videos themselves really don't have much red, green and blue in them, just the thumbnails, but there you go. Interesting. And finally, we have a V8 drill, because why not? So this is Jamari, I guess that's how you say that, from Let's Learn Something, brilliant channel, and had some drills that are broken. So why not try and, let's just say, retrofix it. You don't want to throw these things away because the right to repair movement is strong. And therefore, why not use a V8 nitro engine, which is essentially a high-powered petrol engine, to use your drill. So I don't really need to explain why, because if you need to ask why, then you probably don't get it. You don't need to get this, it's just perfect. So well done to you. No idea why, but there you go. Hopefully that was interesting. Hopefully it was useful. If it was, give it a like, share it with somebody amazing, and I will see you next week.